Yeah, okay, mister. I just heard the phrase of a fucking tree
No,
falling.
I said I've heard this phrase before. It's just a saying that I never caught on to. I say it to everyone who says it. I'm trying to end it. End that phrase 2020.
Chris, it's a brain twizzler. You're not supposed to.
Twizzler.
Twizzler. You hungry, boy? That boy hungry.
First of all, Twizzlers are Trizash. So that shouldn't even be
Twizzlers. Are good.
The fucking red?
Yeah. The red
That shit got no flavor.
No, yeah.
I flavor.
I hate Twizzlers.
I used to hate them, but they got better.
All right, that's good.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Planet of Doubt channel, where we doubt everything. I'm here with the squad. My name is Chris.
Six Drive.
RCL.
It's your boy John Lewis. Welcome back to Planet of Doubt channel, episode 17. Today we got a special guest for you. Goes by the name of Kurtiz. Kurtiz the Kid. Welcome to the channel, sir.
So, man, thank you guys for having me.
Kurtiz is a close friend of ours. We work together in music, and we'll probably get into that a little bit later on in the podcast. But yeah, man, episode 17, we're almost legal. So, let's enjoy this year while we can. But yeah, how you guys doing? How's been your week? How's it been out here in the streets with the COVID-19?
Oh, Manny's directly responsible to answer this question.
Well,
what do we do?
Yeah,
Manny's definitely.
like
No. He'll be like, well,
just another work week.
Back at work. He got COVID again.
Oh no. I'm sorry, Manny.
Nah, Manny should be back at work. But Manny, actually, let's just recognize what's going on. Manny's not here. We don't know why, but
he'll let you know next week.
We'll see next week what was good. So shout out to Manny for the frosted flake. Aside from that, how's it going out there in Jersey, dog? Chris, have you been taking advantage of your finally getting to dine in situation?
I have. It's
out every day.
What was the first restaurant you went to?
I better hear some 5-star the way you've been talking about this.
No, well, I got sushi. That's the first spot I went to. And then
Hold on. What kind of sushi?
California roll, shrimp tempura, eel. What?
You ate the whole menu?
What do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you?
I don't know. I thought you were gonna say something like I got the dragon beard.
Dragon spicy roll? Yeah, I got all that. All that. I told him, give me one of everything. Nah, but yeah, that's the first thing I went to. Just recently went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the football game. So
how was that? Was there people out there?
Dog, that shit was not packed at all for the first game of the year, and like wings and football, and like that's basically what Buffalo Wild Wings strives on. It was completely empty, pretty much. Only a few people went.
I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like on a even on a regular day, Buffalo Wild Wings over here, it wasn't really ever like packed. So I can't even imagine like during COVID, the boys are gonna have a hard time.
I'm surprised
it's a
still
big location too.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
No, well, Buffalo Wild Wings is a huge chain, and
they were gonna be bankrupt once in a while. Actually, Arby's bought them.
What?
Arby's.
Yeah.
So who saved Arby's? What the hell? I don't know one person that goes to Arby's. Dog. I've never seen that drive-through filled.
The person that saved.
Well, not here. Red Robin? There's no Red Robin here anymore. They took all that shit out.
They took that off? The one at the mall?
All the ones here is gone.
Those unlimited fries, RIP.
No, Red Robin's was like the mutual restaurant where it's like if you're tired of everything, let's just go to Red Robin.
No Flanagan's? No Ale House? All right. Red Robin.
Well, what's your mutual restaurant, Kurtiz? Well, let's talk about Kurtiz real quick.
This whole
guy,
pod with Kurtiz about it being unpopular.
KTK, aka Kurtiz the Kid.
This man is bougie as shit. This man's at Korean barbecues every fucking week. Let's guess out right here. He's at Blue Ginger every week.
Damn.
No, actually, I had to retire Blue Ginger for the time being.
Really? Wow, what happened?
Yeah, I read online.
Oh no.
Yeah, they recently got in trouble for it's a little health code thing. So I gotta let it. Yes, I gotta let you.
Which one's Blue Ginger?
This is Miramar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Benihana's.
Oh, okay.
It was like the fallout of like, yo, it's 9:30. Everything else is closing, but Blue Ginger is open like one more hour, so let's just go there. At least for us, but damn,
Yeah.
I didn't know they had a health code.
Well, I think they're back open, but still, you know, you gotta
Give it
you know
a
you
while.
gotta let some time pass. You know,
John.
but I am gonna make my re-entrance.
John, y'all haven't hit up Japan in?
I was just there. On
This
Saturday.
Look at How was that over there? Like with everything
man.
going on?
So I've been to Japan in like twice since COVID, and I went maybe like April, May the first time, and like you had, I think so around that time.
March was like when everything shut down. They were open that fast.
Yeah, but it was like you had to make a reservation, and they had like only like literally only you at your hibachi table basically.
Damn.
So that was straight. But then I went on Saturday, and it was kind of like I walked in, I was like, damn, like it was a little crowded in there.
For real?
Dog, no one's going by that capacity bullshit.
So yeah, we still like, you know, like me and Ange, like we were at a table, and we were still kind of by ourselves, but the restaurant was like definitely like borderline like full in there. So
was there people in your table, even though it's like a big ass situation?
yeah, it was me and it was like 3 other people, but they were like on the other side of the table, so it wasn't like that bad. But just looking around, it was just like, you know, when I walked in there, I was like, damn, like, because when I called and I was like, yo, I want to make a reservation for like 8:30, and the guy was like, oh, it's gonna be a 45-minute wait, and I was like, for what? It was like a 45-minute wait. But I was like, all right, then make my reservation at 8, and I'll show up at like 8:30, you know.
Right.
And yeah, I showed up, and I didn't have to wait, but yeah, it was like super packed in there, and I was like, damn, like.
You went to the one in Weston?
Yeah.
So, all right. So aside from all the fucking Japanese spots that you're eating at, or Korean and Chinese, what is like your mutual restaurant that you go with your homeboys or your crew? Like, because you know, some people get tired of ale house, some people get tired of this and that because they go there too much. So what's like the default where it's like, all right, fuck it, let's just go here?
Everyone likes Chick-fil-A.
You're not going to Chick-fil-A with your crew.
You're not squatting
Wait.
up at well,
No.
unless you're going on a trip or something quick, but nah. you're
Listen,
not
guys,
squatting up at
I
like
eat
a
at
sit-down
Chick-fil-A 4 to 5 days a week. I haven't even seen the inside of a Chick-fil-A in 3 years. Get the fuck out of here.
So like a sit-down restaurant with my homie. I mean, something quick, like, I don't know, Chili's.
It's not a bad
Chili's.
answer.
Yeah.
Chili's hits.
I know, but Chili's is like, it's 50-50. It depends on your crew, dog, because we have like people that hate Chili's, like Eddie. Shout out to Eddie and Z. And I know some people don't mind it. I don't mind it because of the fucking dessert, dog. That molten lava cake is my favorite dessert out of every restaurant.
The honey crispers, those shits hit 10 out of 10 times.
And they're lucky they got the, what is it, 3 items for $10.
Yeah,
that deal
fire.
is fucking nuts.
Oh, it's not there anymore. They changed that.
No way.
Yeah, they took it off.
Jose got all the restaurant updates. Boy, you
No,
got
Jose got
Twitter
all the
alerts?
news that goes against our news. Yo, 10 and 200 million. Nah, I did 75 million. Okay. He got all the against us news.
I'm telling you, because I was going to order from there last week, and I saw they didn't have that deal. I'm like, never mind. You know me. If I don't have deals, I'm not doing it.
It might have been good for you, though, because low-key, most restaurants, when you order to go, they're kind of trash. And I feel like Chili's
No,
is
yeah,
definitely
to go
on the
Chili's
low.
is really good.
Yeah, I've had Chili's to go. It's really good.
Yeah, that in my
Well, it depends
experience.
what you get.
Like, if I get the Cajun chicken pasta for the 3 for $10, the noodles or that pasta's coming in weird every time.
They're usually quick and it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's about the quality of the food once you get home and shit.
I've been to Chili's a couple times during quarantine season.
I feel like you probably are the most to be going out of everybody here, like to
Me?
places. Yeah.
I mean, I do. I mean, I go out to eat a lot. I'm not like, I haven't like been to anywhere like social, like really anything, like no parties or nothing like that. Who knows how long. I've only dapped up like 7 people in like
This man got a counter.
in, like 8 months. Literally, I remember every time I've actually dapped up somebody like open hand. Everyone else just like
I
fist
haven't done
bump.
that since before quarantine.
Yeah, but nah, yeah, I went to Chili's. Chili's is like the one that's like across from where I live. They never really, I mean, they shut down for a little bit, but they've been open, and like there's been a lot of people in there, but they kind of like separate the table sort of.
Right.
But yeah, shout out Phillies.
When the place is big enough, 50% is you can still make it work when it's like a bigger spot. I know Cheesecake Factory. A lot of people have been going there a lot lately.
Oh, I've been going there too.
Look at this guy.
Everywhere.
Are you the fucking food critic? Like this man's traveling, visiting all the restaurants.
Quarantine review.
So
you should do that.
Cheesecake. I was actually supposed to go there eat for dinner yesterday, but I ended up like not. But Cheesecake's been it's been fun. I've been ordering there. That was the place I was ordering all the time. Like when everything was closed. When everything was closed, I would like order there and just have to go pick it up. You know, that's all they were doing. But now, like, I mean, Cheesecake is pretty packed in there now. They got so last time I went, but yeah, shout out Cheesecake too, man.
All right, so I want to hear everybody's order from Cheesecake here because they have a fucking Bible for a menu. So I wanted to see the range that we can get between 5 people of like what they order when they go to Cheesecake. If you ordered it, food from there. So anybody wants to go first?
Should I go? I'll go first. My order is I always get a Sprite whenever I go out. That's my restaurant drink. Order from Chipotle to get Chipotle. No. This is why I said it. From Cheesecake is like the Chipotle Southwest salad or something like that. That's usually what I get. And then the Reese's cheesecake for dessert.
Okay.
The last 2 times I've been there, I've gotten, I think they're called the roadside sliders or something. It's like
those are fire.
4 little burgers.
Chicken, burgers or chicken sliders?
I think it gives you the option, but if I could choose between steak and chicken, we'll go with the steak, especially for a burger. But yeah, I get those the last 2 times and a banana cream cheesecake.
Nice. I got 2 things. 3 things.
Oh.
I'll start off. All right, so for a drink, usually like a water with lemon.
Default, the generic.
Maybe I'm a Sprite guy, no ice with the cheesecake.
No ice.
Yeah, or I might get like a drink like a mojito or sangria or something. To eat, dish number 1 is chicken Alfredo pasta, spaghetti pasta, blackened chicken, add shrimp.
Damn, boy. This man's
one
plate is like $30.
120.
Second one is just their orange chicken that they got there. Orange chicken with the white rice is pretty good.
I haven't had it in a while with that shit.
Wait, are you having these plates on the same night?
No. This is just like my 3 go-tos.
And it's repertoire.
And then the third is jambalaya. Yeah.
Okay, you got 3 dishes. Okay.
What's the dessert?
What is it? Traditional cheesecake, regular cheesecake.
Boring. You got a water with lemon and then a normalized cheesecake when you're at the factory of cheesecakes.
All right, Jose, what you got?
I read the name of it, but it's like some type of pasta with like some
angel pasta shit.
Yeah, it's like some type of angel pasta, but it comes with like this chicken that's like it's kind of like what you order in the Spanish restaurants, like the
milanesa.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I read the name of it though. But
like
it's like a breaded. Parmesan? Yeah, it's like a chicken parmesan breaded, like big piece of chicken, and that's just fire. And I also get either, I think it's kind of like these are the like chicken fingers that they have. I read the name of that, but they give you like a whole basket of chicken stuff.
The chicken littles.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, that and like I love the bread and cheesecake too.
That bread is fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
is that really that hype? Like,
it's fire.
no,
You guys
I've
like
had the bread, but I'm
you
saying
like the
like
white bread or the
that's
brown
what I'm
bread?
saying. Yeah, like
like
Brown,
both.
brown.
Yeah, the brown because
brown.
it's softer. Pause. But the white bread because it's. Never mind.
No one was thinking that. No one was.
You made it sus by saying
You
pause.
the
made-
white bread because of what?
Never mind.
Now watch
They're both
yourself.
good.
Now
They're
watch
both-
yourself.
They're both
So I
good.
don't eat bread. I don't eat bread.
They're both good. That's the thing.
This man found a way to make bread sus.
What about you?
So when I was a amateur cheesecake goer, so this is like years ago,
Oh,
I
you
would just
brought
get the chicken Alfredo pasta. And then recently I just get what I guess what you're talking about, Jose, the Cajun chicken little fingers, which like you said is like a huge portion
Yeah,
of
they give you
chicken
a lot.
tenders and fries. And I've had the chicken sliders before, but I'm not like, oh, time out. This is the only reason why I go to cheesecake. The fried macaroni balls, dog. Oh my god.
I've
They give
never
you
had this.
no way, Curtis.
I've had them. They're fire. They're fire.
They give you 4 macaroni balls. They're like fucking huge. The base of the plate is like a cheese pasta type of sauce. And you cut that shit down the middle and it's fucking macaroni and cheese inside, dog. It's beautiful, dog.
Nice.
It's fucking great. Olga gets the fried macaroni burger, which is kind of OD, but it's probably fine.
I had that one time. I think it was good.
It was good. Yeah, I just feel like it would be a little bit overwhelming, but maybe not.
Yeah, it's just a hella hot inside, so you gotta watch out when you bite
Right.
that cheese in the middle.
It was interesting. Most of us had like a different dish, so that's good.
Oh
when you
yeah,
have a
because they
menu of
they
30
have
pages.
everything on there.
And I don't order dessert because I don't eat cheesecake. So
You
there's
don't get the
that.
carrot cake either. The carrot
So
cake is
I went
fire.
to Grand Lux recently, and I saw that they got carrot cake, and I know that they're owned by Cheesecake. I didn't know they had that shit at Cheesecake though.
And that shit is like.
I like Grand Lux too.
Grand Lux is the Walmart version of cheesecake.
No.
No. I think it might be.
Wait, you think Grand Lux is better?
I wouldn't say better because the Cheesecake owns it.
Yeah.
So obviously, but
So Publix
But
brand.
I feel like
yeah, I don't
feel
think
like
Grand Lux is
marketed to be
downgraded.
like. Yeah, I think it's like they're like the same, but I think it's marketed like to seem better.
It's like,
Have you
oh,
been
you
to
can't
Grand
find a
Lux?
cheesecake?
Huh?
Have you been to Grand Lux, Chris?
Yeah, there's one by the movie theaters where like by Sammy. So yeah, there's one right there.
Because usually they put Grand Lux like in like the like Aventura or Sawgrass next to like PF Chang's or so it's like but same food pretty much.
You see, if we're having that conversation, I'd rather go to Grand Lux because at Cheesecake, obviously this is my fault because I'm ordering it, but I'm really ordering just like chicken tenders and fries. But at Buffalo, we can Grand Lux Cafe, they have this thing called the Buffalo Rolls and the Buffalo Bites, and it's basically an egg roll crust with buffalo shredded inside. And that shit, I can eat that shit unlimited, dog. I will spend $35. I don't give a fuck. So, like, to me, Grand Lux has my favorite dish compared to the two, but yeah. Is Grand Lux like even that international? Like, is it? I don't even know.
I've never seen a commercial or any marketing for Grand Lux.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, Grand Lux is basically like, oh, you can't find the Cheesecake Factory? Here's Grand Lux.
Jose, get us out of here. That boy could not transition.
Have you guys seen any good movies lately?
No? Well, we watched Tenet the other week.
How was that?
We did like a
wow! Thanks for watching the podcast, Curtis. What a huge
we
fan!
Did a whole review.
We
did a whole review.
Who is this guy?
50 minutes.
Was it good, bad? Because I was almost gonna see that the other day. I went to the movies.
No,
Wait. You've been at the movies hella times. What have you been watching?
Yeah, what are you watching?
I went twice. And
Hella times.
Wait, you've been to the movies recently?
Yes.
Yeah.
For what? There's
That's
nothing.
what I'm saying.
Like,
Like,
yeah,
what
but
movie?
I'm saying like there's no movies out.
Oh, I saw New Mutants.
Oh,
Probably
you wasted your
trash.
money.
It wasn't trash. It wasn't like phenomenal, obviously, but it was different. It was like a horror movie.
1 out of 10. What was your rating?
like a 6.5.
I
Yeah,
heard that from somebody else too.
yeah. It was like, I mean, it was interesting. It was just like,
What else you saw?
I feel like if it would have came out in October, it would have been cool. I just saw a movie called Unhinged on Saturday.
Wait, I heard about that. What is it?
It's like a road rage movie. Like this dude.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Taken, but like road rage.
I
version.
heard it's like a true story and they made it to a movie or something.
Oh damn! If that's true, then shit.
I've heard of it, but I haven't.
Yeah, it's Russell Crowe, right? Russell Crowe.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I do want to watch that movie.
No, it was good. It was like a kind of suspense. Like just it wasn't like amazing, but
You were definitely the only people in that theater.
yeah.
100%. So speaking of movies, since we're here, what the fuck is good with Milan? Nobody saw Milan?
I saw it.
Oof.
You saw it?
Yeah, I did.
You
didn't
paid
pay
the $30.
No, he got the finesse.
No, I did not pay $30. I will never pay $30.
That shit came out, and I have not heard one soul.
I've heard
it or anything.
the opposite. Everything
What?
that I've heard is that it was awful,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
effects were so cheap,
Trash.
and it looked so bad that people are just trashing the shit out of it.
No, yeah.
I haven't heard anything good about it either.
The acting was horrible. The effects were bad. Like the accent they were using, because obviously they're Asian Chinese and they're trying to speak English, and they did that bad too. Like there was a scene.
Accents were racist.
Before you get canceled, what do you mean?
No,
Those
because
accents were racist.
they're obviously trying to speak like because they're
Englandese?
they're always trying to speak English because we're used to that and we don't. Disney doesn't want to use subtitles. Like I felt like they should have just used subtitles and make them speak their language. It would have been more authentic and better. But
The way you're phrasing it.
I'm serious. Like that's the thing. Like it just
they
makes,
couldn't use their native tongue.
Yeah, it just
Right.
makes the movie look even worse than what it is. But I get it in that sense. But I don't know. It was really bad. Like obviously they didn't have the favorite characters like Mushu or like the cricket and stuff like that. But they have somebody that shapeshifts into a falcon. Like
Really?
yeah, like
It was a phoenix.
yeah, or that. But they try
So
to.
you saw it,
A
huh?
falcon.
No, they had two. They had two. It was there's a
I
phoenix.
mean, I don't know. I just heard from somebody.
No, yeah, they transfer into a phoenix, and then there's somebody that transfers to like a hawk or something like that. But the thing is, like they try to go like the realistic route, but they do that, so it doesn't
Right.
make sense.
So
All
it's
right.
good to put motion in there.
Yeah.
So if I have an extra $30 in my pocket,
No, don't
should
even.
I?
Don't even.
Curtis, even if the movie was good, I am not spending $30 to watch
Yeah, don't.
Mulan.
Mhm.
I would just be like, that if it was good, that's good. Like
I wanted it to be good too, but it was horrible.
You sat down through the whole thing?
Yeah, I did. I watched the whole thing, and like there was even a part like I'm watching it, and obviously the main character, she goes into and supposed to like dress like a dude and stuff like that for like the army people don't recognize her, but she clearly looks like a woman, and they're like, "Oh, you're a dude," and like it's like
man.
so bad.
Jose's canceled.
I want to see it like one time, but if you
Yeah, but
have
you
it,
can watch it like
Yeah.
through Fire
it's a-
Stick and shit.
yes, I say
Do
I'm
not
not
pay
gonna,
for it.
I'm not gonna buy it, but I do want to watch it just to say I did.
What's
But yeah, it's getting like horrible reviews too. Like it just sucks with that.
Well, you already got us on the wrong foot with the $30 fucking ticket. So now you got to
Yeah.
make it worthwhile at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Are there any movies that you guys are excited about that are coming out soon?
There's a lot. This week we got a trailer to Dune, which is Denis Villeneuve's new movie. The guy that made Prisoners, Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal. I still haven't seen the trailer. I gotta watch it.
That's a very
New
different movie than what he usually makes.
Well,
It's more-
he made a movie like, I guess the most similar movie you can think of is Blade Runner, because it's like that futuristic type of CGI and all that stuff. But there's a new James Bond movie coming out. Black Widow should be coming out soon. Wonder Woman.
I heard
there's
that.
a bunch,
All that
there's a
is
bunch
getting
of
pushed
stuff.
back. I heard Wonder
So that
Woman
was-
was getting pushed back to
So I was gonna
Christmas.
ask. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the reason they're getting pushed back is because they saw what Tenet did and they don't like it. Because Tenet made a lot globally. It made over 210 million, but in the United States, it only made 30 million, and that's not good. So like, other companies and movies are seeing that, so they're trying to push their dates back. Because Wonder Woman and Black Widow, they were supposed to come out next month, and I think they're pushing it back.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Well, Tenet's gonna be in theaters for like a couple months. I think Christopher Nolan said because he got like an extension with with all the movie companies. So I think through time, people will get more comfortable with going to the movie theater.
Oh yeah, that's the reason.
Because like look at you two. You guys weren't even comfortable the first week even going, but you guys were there to watch Tenet.
Yeah, but remember what we talked about? Like, we're moviegoers, you know what I'm saying? So like we kind of risked it, and Tenet had enough hype to go watch it, but I'm not really excited about the Black Widow movie or like any of those movies. So like I'll probably skip out on that.
Have you guys seen a trailer for a movie called Greenland?
Is that like in the medieval times?
No, it's some look. I mean, I feel like it takes place in like November of this year. Coming up.
Greenland.
It took place in November of this year. That hasn't happened.
Exactly. It's one of those like 2020.
In the future.
Yeah, it seems like I feel like it could happen next. Basically,
No,
like,
I haven't seen a trailer for that.
It's a trailer where like from what I saw, like a bunch of weird stuff happening with the weather. Then the sky turns red, which is what just happened on the West Coast,
California.
And then like these things started falling out of the sky, and like I don't know if they were meteors or what. They call them like planet kill. These things were just falling out of the sky, and like Florida got hit first.
Okay, I did hear about that.
Florida got hit first.
Yeah. Wait, isn't this with the actor Idris Elba?
I don't think that. No, I didn't see him in there.
Okay.
Yeah, but I saw that. I mean, that seems like an interesting movie.
Sounds like The Rapture.
Yeah, or feature documentary.
So Curtis, you asked what movies we've seen lately. The last movie I saw was a movie called I'm Thinking of Ending Things on Netflix, which is very good. It's very psychological, makes you think a lot. It's gonna definitely leave you with questions, but I think it's worth the watch.
What's it about?
I can't. Asiel could back me up here.
I thought you said you didn't like it.
No, I loved it.
Really?
When did I say I didn't like it?
We were talking about it.
That's not true. I never said that.
Could've
Roll back the tape.
It wasn't on.
Is it a real movie or like a documentary?
No,
it's a real movie
on Netflix.
But it's up to your perspective,
interpretation.
Interpretation, and then it's one of those movies where like after it you're like, okay, explanation on YouTube, pretty much.
Okay, cool. I'll check that out.
So definitely check that out. I really loved it.
I haven't really seen anything new recently. I saw a trailer for this movie called, was it Antebellum?
Oh, I want to see that.
With Janelle Monáe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like some like I don't know. It's like I don't even know what it is. Like she like gets like pulled through different time periods, or I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on.
That's coming out. It's coming straight to on demand though now.
Yeah, I think so.
Instead of
there is a trailer actually that I saw this week about like Chicago and like back in like the 80s there was like huge like riots and stuff like that, and Sacha Baron Cohen is in it also. Coming to Netflix, I think there's a lot of shit coming to Netflix this month. So just keep posted on that. I'll definitely be watching.
That's some news. I don't know if you guys heard. It's random, but they're working on a Borat 2.
I heard about that. Yeah, I saw
that he made the whole film like secretly.
Yeah, I saw a clip. No one knew at the time he was shooting Borat 2, but obviously he's like in America, like in this time of America, and there was a clip. He went to like
getting canceled for sure.
He went to a
if
route.
he's not canceled yet,
nah, he's gonna make it.
What are you talking about?
He's one of those people that gets a pass. Like,
no. When those movies came out, the world that we were living in is a very different place.
No,
it is. But that stuff. Okay, let's go with that point, John. Let's go with that point, John. It's a different world now than it definitely was back then. But people don't give a shit about that now because people are going back to shit that people did back then and accusing them of it now and getting canceled now. So what is the difference between Borat back then than it is now when he's been called out, he's been canceled by hundreds of thousands of people. This guy is basically cancel culture in a person.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's
So,
done
like,
everything offensive.
He's done literally everything offensive. So when I say he's like uncancelable or whatever I said before, it's like he's one of those people that just like gets it past because people know like what he
No,
does.
but John's right. Like a movie like
I think
that
that's true.
hasn't came out in a while, and like I was telling when I watched the other movie the other day, Tenet. I was like asking Manny and them like, when's the last time you seen like a good comedy movie? And like they couldn't name one like a good comedy movie you seen like recently. And like if you have this, that's basically makes fun of everything. People are gonna judge the hell out of that. But I want to see when it will come out because I don't think it's gonna release now. It might release later, like 2021 or stuff like that. But
Yeah, probably they were just filming. So
yeah. So
probably
And if not, it'll be just on like straight to Netflix or like you remember
yeah,
that one
I
movie?
can
Like
see. I can see. That.
that's probably definitely what's happening, Kurt.
I
It's
can
not
see
you said
that.
it. Because Sacha Baron Cohen has been all over Netflix for the past couple of years, so that would make a lot of sense.
yeah, the clip I saw, or like when he was like filming, like that movie's gonna be outrageous.
I can't wait.
I want to see like how far he goes with that shit. Too.
Oh, he went from the thing I saw. He went like pretty far. It's so
Really?
far.
I think that's the first. Go ahead, Curtis. Go ahead.
No, I was saying he went to this like rally, and he like was disguised as like a performer, and he sang the most like racist song I ever heard in my life.
It's so
And
fucked up.
He was getting the crowd to sing along, and they were all like, "Yeah," you know what I'm saying?
I can already
a couple
see
things.
this.
A couple of things. How real can that be if we haven't already seen it
What do you mean?
online
What do you mean?
through others, through cell phone footage or shit
It
like
was
that?
through cell phone. That's what it was. It was cell phone footage, and then he eventually the people organizing the rally, I don't know, like if they realized like he wasn't supposed to be there. Like that's his whole thing. The premise of Borat 2 is that Borat is like not an unknown person anymore, so he has to go undercover now.
Okay.
So that's like the storyline.
Jose,
Apparently.
I see what they did there.
No,
So
it's
now-
just true. What do you mean?
Yeah. So when he like when he you know in the first
No,
Borat,
but I
he was
guess
like,
I guess what John's saying, like if he did that stunt, like how come we haven't seen it like trending online?
it was all
or something?
over. It was trending.
Really?
Like
I
yeah, a
heard
couple months
about it,
ago.
but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I saw like he was like someone spotted him like he was driving a car, and I saw like a
No, look
picture,
it up.
like,
Look it up on YouTube or something like later
He
on.
kind of did something like that in the first one, or he went to like a bull fighting type of competition.
Oh,
It was,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
in an
yeah.
arena. And then
Yes.
he started doing this whole national anthem that was like shitting on the USA, and people
Yeah.
were just booing him out of the fucking stadium.
Yeah,
That's uncancelable.
yeah.
So
Borat was good.
to that point about uncancelable, as Chris likes to say it, what makes you cancelable for the most part is the jobs that you won't have anymore. Borat wasn't doing nothing before, and he ain't gonna be doing nothing after. So
no, he's
in that
he's been doing
sense-
a lot of things.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of things.
It's but
What
not
has he been
not
doing?
his he's been doing a lot of like voice acting stuff, and he's been doing a lot of like just like unrecognizable acting stuff. But
He
it's,
does a
like,
lot of theater
very
also.
popular.
He was in Les Miserables with all those stars, and a bunch of, like I said, a bunch of Netflix shows and movies that are coming out. He's as well known as he is as like a funny guy that likes to fucking around with people. That guy could act, like he can really act. So like people take that into account and they know that this guy can joke around and can actually be serious when needed. So he's not blackballed or anything. Like people look out for him for casting and stuff like that.
And also
He
his
was a-
brand. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
He was actually supposed to play Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody, but he canceled. He didn't want to do it like last
Yeah.
second. So they got Rami Malek to
Yeah,
do
he
it,
was supposed
which
to do
he
that.
did a fine job. So
Yeah, and I was saying just add on like him being like uncancelable is that like his
Goddamn
brand,
word. Better get a patent on it.
his brand.
trademark.
once they get on it,
Well,
It's different when you're like a when you're like a Disney actor or something like that, where your brand is like
Well,
You
he
know.
was he's the
Louis
voice,
C.K.
whatever,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter. But
But
people still know that's
he
Borat
was
and Borat.
the voice in Madagascar, the King Julian. That's him.
Yeah, but that's not only him. That's what I'm saying. But he's also Borat. So it's
Yeah.
like you. So what is he gonna do? Something outrageous, and people are gonna like. That's what he does. As opposed to like if you're somebody who doesn't do that.
Did it,
Like,
did
for
it at a
instance-
different time.
No, yeah,
Like for instance, just to go, you guys saw like the whole John Wall thing over the weekend.
Yeah.
Like
we're
John
throwing
Wall.
up everything.
Like
Who?
that, like his brand is like an NBA player, like, you know, so when he does stuff like that, he has to like apologize now and blah blah blah. Versus like Sasha, if he does something crazy, it's like it's Sasha.
It's expected.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the cousin you got that does dumb shit all the time, and you're just like, that's cousin Willie doing.
We'll revisit this conversation after the
Nah,
movie comes out.
I like to see like how people take it now because it's different.
Yeah.
Listen,
Different
the
times.
reviews will be awful.
No, of course.
They will be awful, but the audience score,
It's
watch. just quote me on that.
Uncancelable.
You're quoted.
Quote me.
But
Clip it.
It's like Dave Chappelle, basically.
Exactly.
Like Dave Chappelle can't be canceled.
Dave Chappelle cannot be canceled.
We'll
Cannot.
just put this Borat dude in the same conversation as Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
Yes, he can't. I'm not
Do
saying
I leave
Listen, we're
this
not-
level-wise.
Zoom
we're not
meeting
talking about-
now, or do?
No.
No,
This is a very valid conversation.
I'm not saying
Because-
level wise, but yeah, as far as like someone who can like say whatever they want whenever and it'll be completely okay.
Okay, but let's also realize that when Dave does it is in a very clever manner, and it's kind of offensive to everybody and himself. This dude is clearly trying to make fun of you and be offensive as he can. It's two totally different ways of approaching a similar situation.
yeah,
Nah.
but it's
Okay.
at the end of the day, it's all jokes, and it's a movie.
Yeah, but I think the thing that makes you uncancelable is exactly like just not caring about being canceled.
I think what makes
And-
you uncancelable is being satisfied with your situation and not needing like another job because you can already have enough money or provide that for yourself.
Mhm.
But so
But it depends, like, cause you could be into a point where like nobody will accept you anywhere.
yeah, but Dave Chappelle, if he gets canceled, he still has $500 million to go back to the house to, and he could just go to the street, put a stage, and people will show up. So he didn't need to do like a Netflix deal, or he doesn't need to do, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, he did do a Netflix deal.
yeah, before that comedy thing. But my point is that he doesn't, in his eyes, he doesn't care about being canceled because he could do it without the Netflix deal
Mhm.
and still do great numbers and great.
Well, I mean,
money.
it probably depends on the situation, like, because people are just mad because the things he says, but like, if there's like allegations like too far,
Yeah, too.
that could be a different story. But
That's
Yeah.
true too.
I got a topic on that, which is the next person that people are talking about is Conor McGregor. You hear what he did in the past 2 days?
Slightly.
Slightly,
Yeah, so he was in France and he flashed a married couple with their children. Like he took his thing out and like showed everybody, and he got arrested that same day. He was drunk. Like people are hella mad at him there because like they say like he disrespected France and stuff like that. And like people were asking like Dana White, oh, like what are your thoughts on this? Like, you know, everybody always wants to know his thoughts on. But he basically said like, oh, like since he's not in the UFC, like he doesn't have any opinions or like anything he wants to say to him. Like he feels like Conor McGregor like messed up as a way like in that sense, like he doesn't want to help him out in any situation that he can. But
Wait, so is it confirmed that he actually did this?
yeah, he was arrested and everything, and there's pictures and video and everything. Like people
What?
saw him because he was like out in. It was like a public outside drinking event or something like that, and
Mhm.
then like this married couple was like sitting down or walking, and then like he just like pulls down his pants and like just shows
Well,
them
at
everything.
this point, I'm kind of tired of Connor in that sense because I feel like the last 3 times I've heard about him, it's been about an incident. Like
Mhm.
that he punched a dude at a bar, like that was like way older than
Mhm.
him. He threw that fucking chair at the tour bus when before the
Yeah.
fight. So it's like, all right, how many more crazy shit can we let this dude get away with before some serious consequences are starting to like be implemented?
Money is everything.
You see, that's where it gets weird because like he probably go to jail and then somebody could just probably bail him out. Like, no problem.
He's already bailed out, probably.
That's exactly what.
Money's everything, but your reputation.
Top lawyers.
Your reputation is with you too.
Top lawyers, they just minimize jail time to fines, and he pays it.
You see how? So this is an interesting conversation because going back to reputation and stuff like, or that's Borat, so we know. Like they try to get that excuse off for Conor when he punched the dude in the face, the older dude. They were like, "Well, he's a fighter. What are we gonna do?" I was like, "That doesn't make it right."
Nah, I wouldn't say. Yeah, that's hella wrong.
that was like the consensus for the most part.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
but
there were.
Doesn't that fall?
Conor was definitely at fault for that situation.
Doesn't that fall under like his contract too? Because he was in the UFC and stuff like that. Like, he can't fight like if it's not in the ring or the octagon.
Seems like what Chris said.
Money's everything.
It's no rules once you can bail yourself out or whatever the hell.
This is how it works out, John. He got arrested. The people that were flashed, are probably gonna be asked if they want to press charges or not. If they press charges, they go to court. McGregor's lawyer is like, all right, we'll pay you whatever you ask, and let's just get this over with. That's pretty much how everything goes. It's all about money and lawyer. If you get the right lawyer, you can get yourself out of everything. Hashtag OJ's lawyer. What's his name? Cochran, Johnny Cochran.
Wasn't it Kardashian's dad?
No, he was one of them. Oh. Rob Kardashian was one of the lawyers, but Johnny Cochran was the main lawyer.
So before I got on here, I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw my man Kanye.
Oh no!
You know, man, my man Yeezy. He tweeted that Drake and J. Cole need to give him a public apology.
No way.
Yeah, I'm serious. So
can you pull it up? Did he explain why?
It was like a series of tweets, like him going at the label and saying he's not releasing any more music until he gets off of like Sony and Universal.
Really?
Good.
I'm gonna read you all the tweets. I need a public apology from J. Cole and Drake to start.
That's right.
To start with immediately.
That's right.
I'm Nat Turner. I'm fighting for us.
That's all you got.
I mean, that's just one of them. There's a bunch, but I'm just reading that one. So do you think that Drake and J. Cole need to apologize to EA?
Obviously, we're going to go off of assumption because if he's not clearly stating in the tweet, the reasons, then I guess we're going to assume is J. Cole making false profits. We're going to assume is Drake, obviously, the Pusha T beef. And I wouldn't say, no. If it's for those reasons, no, because one, you're an artist. Well, first of all, you're human, so you're allowed to say whatever you want. Second, if those were their experiences with him, then who are we to kind of like, not let them speak their truth or like their perspective? So yeah, if he's speaking about that, like what I will say about the Pusha, Kanye, and Drake situation is though, we really never got confirmation that Kanye was the one that was really telling Pusha the things. And the only thing we know is that 40 told the girl, and then the girl who he was sleeping with told Pusha.
The information came from 40.
Right. Which, by the way, I recently visited both beef tracks, so maybe we'll talk about that after this. But so I don't think Kanye will say it, but I would like that to be clarified to a certain extent to see if he was the one that really divulged the information to Pusha. Because then that will be the part where I'd be like, yeah, he owes him an apology, or no, he doesn't owe him an apology. Because what if the whole time Drake is really just getting misinformed about who really said the information, and then he's just going at Kanye off of an assumption? But if it really came from Kanye and he finds a way that he can admit it or something, then yeah, he don't gotta apologize.
But I never know he had beef with J. Cole like that.
He doesn't. he doesn't personally. Cole decided to make a record about a couple of people, Wale, about Kanye, and I think there was somebody else who was on who the song was targeted for.
What record is that?
False Prophets. But wait, why? Remind me, why did Cole make that record? Like, what was the issue, or what did he feel like?
I don't ever recall Kanye ever egging on J. Cole for any type of diss track or anything. I remember that came out, that dropped, and I was like, kind of like, because obviously I'm a Kanye fan, so I was like, and I'm a Cole fan, so I was like, J. Cole, like, why? That was weird. Like, I don't think, like, it just came out of nowhere.
I think it was because he was hearing what Kanye doesn't really do or does in the studio behind the scenes. So he was just kind of like, it's like when you meet your heroes and then you kind of get to know them and then they're kind of like not who you thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was speaking on that behalf. Like, you know, he might not write all his own records, or he might have more people working on the production than we actually thought. So I think he was speaking in that stance. And I think it was also because of all the crazy shit Kanye has been saying, you know, every time he speaks on the topic. So I think it was like all those things unraveled like at once. Yeah.
When did that song come out? I can't remember this.
Years ago.
2015 or 2016.
But that was just a single thing, or it was on an album?
It was just he released 2 songs. It was that one and another one, but I forget that one.
I think it was right before For Your Eyes Only.
Oh, okay.
They're both good.
That was with the music video, like
And
by the bodega and the train or whatever.
He was on a bus.
All right, the bus is my bad.
Mm-hmm. So going back to the question where the question was, should J. Cole and Drake apologize? Well, I don't think anyone should apologize to anyone if you're being called out on Twitter. Like, that shit needs to be handled behind the scenes. Like, but obviously Kanye, you know him, he's too outspoken. He doesn't have any filters. So do I think they should apologize? No, not like that. Not in that manner. Kanye needs to go behind the scenes and figure that shit out. Which is weird because I thought Cole and Kanye were cool because if you guys remember, like a couple, I don't know if it was this dunk contest or whatever, they were pictured together. They looked fine, and I thought that shit was cleared out, but I guess not. So I guess Kanye's feeling disrespected. But
one thing is Kanye has definitely tried to get this settled behind the scenes because you know you hear it through the grapevines, and he's talked on Cole before, and we have seen pictures of them after False Prophets. I thought you were going to talk about Good Fridays when he had him on the feature on one of the Good Fridays that he was like the last verse. But like I said, like I don't think that's beef either. Like False Prophets to me isn't a diss record. It's just somebody who thought somebody who was somebody and then they weren't, and he just felt like he displayed that. Now, if you ask me, I don't care what the fuck I find out Kanye does or don't do, but if we're talking studio wise, because my dog has way too great of a catalog for me to destroy it. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing he's done is amateur. Before Ye and before that, so whether it be worst case scenario, Kanye was the DJ Khaled before DJ Khaled. Still giving him the props for putting in the people he put in, choosing what gets finalized on the record. So I don't know what the fuck Cole was so distraught about that he needed to make a whole record about my idols become rivals and they're not who they are and whatever the fuck. I think that was some type of disrespect, even though I just said it wasn't a diss record, but it was disrespectful. Because it's like it doesn't really change the catalog. Like the catalog that is out is still one of the greatest catalogs to ever live in music. So
I also don't think J. Cole cares as much about this as Kanye does. I feel like J. Cole
care about this. I'm sure.
I feel like
30. He deleted tweets already. He's 30 minutes. I take no stock in anything man says it does anymore.
I feel like J. Cole is like, oh, Kanye still thinks I hate him or something. He's like, oh, well.
Yeah, I think Kanye sits around and thinks of things that he needs to rehash. and just like says it out loud. He's like, I'm not over this. And then like 30 minutes later, he's like, whatever. And then
I was wrong. I'm over it.
He'll figure it out later. Whatever.
Drake for sure is still petty though. That boy's still upset for sure.
I would definitely look. I don't need a Drake and Kanye collab. Everything we've gotten to me is terrible. But I would like them to sit down and have a real conversation, because to clarify, like, you know, who's really at fault, and whoever's really at fault needs to really apologize.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, they're two great fucking artists, and obviously it might have too many lines have probably been crossed to get to that point. But Kanye might also be speaking about, you know, certain opportunities that he's either getting blocked or denied, or he can't do because of affiliation with a Cole, with a Drake. So that might also be a thing where it's like, all right, fam, like, y'all ruining this shit for me. We need to like figure this out type shit. But that is crazy that he posted that. I didn't see that.
I think that it needs to be resolved like off the internet, but maybe Kanye's going to the internet because he's tried, like he says, he's like left notes at Jake's house and you know stuff like that. With J. Cole, like I don't know, that was like a weird one, like for you to like say, if it is about false prophets, for you to, you know, come back 5 years after the fact, like, by the way, you know, you need to apologize for me. But
that's the thing, he has brought it up before in the past, and then we just moved on, and now he's bringing it up again.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like Kanye, like musically, like, you know, that's my favorite artist ever, and like I love him as an artist. And now when he tweets or says stuff, I'm just kind of like, you know, like, all right, it's Kanye, like, it'll, you know, he'll say something now, he might change his mind. It's almost like when he, like before when Kanye announced an album, I was like, yo, like, all right, let's go. Now when he announces an album, I'm like, it's probably not even gonna come out, you know. Right. Just like the Yandi, which, well, it kind of did, I guess. It got like transformed.
No, that shit didn't come out. Well, it leaked, yeah, I guess.
But like even the Donda album that he said was gonna come out after he dropped that song with Travis Scott, like in the summer, like it didn't come out. And then now he tweeted today, I'm not releasing any more music until like they let me off my contract, until my contract's done. Like, all right, when is that contract done? Like, is it done tomorrow? Is it done?
Well, let's talk about that. Good question. We don't know. You know, it could be years. It could be soon. But
you say he's with Sony?
Yeah, I think he said like Sony and Universal or something like that.
Yeah, you already know sub label, big label. Kanye West has been in a bad contract for years now, because he kind of still has not a new artist contract, but his contract is so old that it still has clause of like a back in the day Kanye.
Yeah.
And Kanye West is not an artist that should be in a weird contract like that. You're talking about Chris Brown owns his masters. You're talking about Beyonce owns her master. You're talking about Jay-Z. Yeah, Kanye West belongs on that same conversation of, we're gonna partner if I want to, as a label. You know, you could distribute, we could have a distribution deal, and even that's not really necessary because we all know you can do it another way. So I agree with the frustration of him, you know, basically being still held to a contract that, fam, I'm getting tried on it. Like, not because of why, because he's over exceeded expectations. That's probably the best way to say it. And obviously, you know, you have to apply by the contract you've signed, but I'm sure there was an opt-out, opt-in situation either on the label side or on Kanye's side that they can figure out. Or if you're Kanye, do you just pay to get out of it? If that's a possibility. I mean, you're a fucking billionaire now, so why not?
But that has to be like, because it's been over 10 years, so it has to be like a 15 or 20-year contract or something.
He could negotiate a buyout.
Or maybe he re-signed something 6 years ago, you know what I'm saying? But it was still a bad contract, but it was still not a contract that a Kanye West level artist should be getting, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely think that he needs to be independent in his own right of owning masters and shit like that. But Yeah, they got to figure it out. And as far as music goes, I don't know how. Yeah, if we've talked about this off air, but I've been just like how you said, Curtis. Like, you hear an announcement about a Kanye album, I don't get excited anymore. I don't, and that's so unfortunate to say now because most of us here are like Kanye's lawyer defensive team. Like our whole lives, we've been defending this man, and like last 3 years it's been kind of like I give up. Like I can't even do it no more.
Yeah, and it's not that I'm not getting excited because I don't want to hear the music. It's just that I don't think you really are actually going to drop when you say you do. That's from my perspective at least.
Well, for me is I know there's a 50-50 chance it comes out, and I'm not confident in that 50% that it does come out because then we get a Ye, then we get a Kid See Ghost, then we get a Jesus is King, and Ye. This is what I wanted to explain to people. Ye, I actually heard Ye recently, and it's not as bad as I credited to be initially. But, I mean, take this however you want. Some people are going to say, that's not an excuse, but whatever. Let's not forget, Kanye is making these albums with weeks worth of time. Like, he speaks on, I'm going to do a Yandi, I'm going to do a blah, 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 I'm going to do a blah, blah, blah. As soon as he announces a new album, he scraps that project, then starts to work on a new project, and then releases that project within said weeks. So Ye is a product of a couple of weeks worth of working on an album. So that's why I don't critique it too much because I know he did that shit 2 weeks ago. So I can't be, what I'm saying? You put 2 weeks worth of fucking, I know what it's going to sound like because you obviously weren't invested all the way through. Yandi might have been different because we heard that one for a longer time. So maybe he spent a little bit more time on it. But don't get it fucked up that when I heard Jesus is King, I still noticed very classic Kanye's flashes throughout the album. If that album would have had another verse on every song and it would have had a drum pattern drop in the middle of a record, that would have been a classic album. Like, you know what I'm saying? The samples were there, the choir were there, production was there. So I don't think Kanye, I don't not think that Kanye is not capable of releasing good music. I just think he spends too much little time. He doesn't spend enough time anymore on a project, and it's starting to we can recognize that he's not really taking it as serious as he should be taking it. So that's why I don't really get excited because I know we're gonna get something that he thought about a month ago, and he probably just put the verses last night. So it's like, it's going to be like a subpar Kanye production, which is still better than a lot of the new artist shit, which is hilarious. So that's why I say I don't get excited because I'm scared that it's like something that he just started to work on the other day. And I know that your heart wasn't in it as much as you spending 6 months in Hawaii making dark fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a different level of dedication. So
yeah, I actually heard Kid See Ghost like recently, and it was pretty good. Like I thought it was worse
that shit is fire.
Worse than I thought it was. Like, cause I heard it one time when it did come out, and I don't know if I wasn't listening right, but like I heard it like recently, and I liked it except for like one song, and I know there's only like 7 songs, but I think it's pretty good than what people put it to be.
All the album. Well, I'm a big Cudi fan, and obviously you guys know how much of a fan
then that's all you had to say. Everything else to say after that is irrelevant.
You guys really think Kid See Ghost is bad?
I don't go back to any song except the first one.
I haven't listened to Kid See Ghost in a long time, which like I don't think it was when I heard it. I didn't think it was bad, but I just haven't. It hasn't been something that I went back to. I should though.
Yeah, so but that's another thing. Well, I think when it comes to Kanye, it's not a bad project. It's just something either it hits with you or it doesn't at the time, I guess.
Yeah.
But I definitely remember Kid See Ghost to me being more like of a film score to like sounding more like that than like an actual thing I could play in my car and like sing along to. Mm-hmm. But I don't go back to that. I don't even go back to the Pusha T album, and that was probably the best album that came out of that track, of that whole run.
To this day, I go back to that album. That shit is too fucking good, man.
You know what disappointed me, low key, because I don't know if you guys watched the Nick Cannon interview.
I didn't.
Or
I
if
gotta
you-
watch that. I haven't seen it yet.
Did you watch the second one, Chris?
No, I didn't watch the second one.
All right, so on our last pod, we talked about the Nick Cannon and Kanye interview. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's actually really good. He's actually, speaking. He's communicating better. Let's put it that way.
He's coherent.
But he said this, and I was surprised because I feel like a lot of people don't agree with him, and I might agree with what the people are saying. He was talking about like, when I get an opportunity to, collaborate with an artist like Nas, like I take advantage of that situation and I take my time to create a project because that's Nas. And in my head, I'm like, a lot of people didn't fuck with that album, yeah. Like,
But Nas himself said that they didn't take time on that album. That's why.
right. So I don't know
Yeah.
why he felt so comfortable to just say that, because first of all, when everybody heard Nas and Kanye album was coming, we were hella excited because we got classic with KRS-One, Kanye, Nas, Rock Kemp. If y'all don't remember that song, that was like every Kanye and Nas. Yeah, and then Still Dreaming. She pulled up at 640 and a 745. I guess I'm talking to myself here, but everybody go check those records out. Classic Kanye and Nas record. Curtis, I'm hella disappointed.
This was before this album?
No, yeah, this was like back in the day. Like, yeah. So I don't know. It sucks to know that he thinks that he actually killed it. And maybe he did on the production side. It's just that the way that the melodies and the flow that Nas was deciding to, do on the Kanye shit just didn't connect. And maybe Kanye's tempo was also not the right tempo for Nas to get his shit off either.
Production wise, I thought that album was pretty damn good. I also don't think that album was too bad. I mean, but when you're talking about Nas, like such a critically acclaimed rapper like that, you expect like great. And it obviously wasn't that, but I don't think it was that bad either. It was just, it definitely didn't live up to the hype. I think that's why people are more disappointed about it. But I think it's a good album. There's a few songs that I actually still go back to, but
you're the only one.
Yeah, it could have been better.
Since we're here for a quick second, and we kind of touched on it last pod, Curtis, what do you think about Hit Boy, the producer?
I like Hit Boy. You don't?
Have you heard like his stuff recently? Like,
I mean, the Big Sean stuff.
Big Sean stuff. He did the whole Nas album that came out 2 weeks ago. He did a couple of things on another artist. Forgot.
I heard the Nas album when I was at the studio, and I heard Detroit. This was what I'm listening to this whole week basically. I thought it was dope. You know, like I said, you don't like Hit Boy because that's what it sounds like.
I already had this thought, and then Chris or somebody had said something that he was like speaking bad on Kanye's name, which made my take even more aggressive. But I haven't heard a Hit Boy beat, if not ever, but recently, and was like, yo, fire. Like, that shit's hard.
Like a N-words in Paris.
Even that beat, if you break it down, that's not a great production. That's thanks to Kanye and Jay-Z for what they came up with on top of that beat. I think I'm ready to say it. Hit Boy is overrated. I think people are just getting it twisted that he's doing, the people that he's collaborating with are fucking great, because he got a Kanye, he got a Big Sean, he got a Nas. But I don't think he's like, I haven't heard anything from him where I'm like, yo, you know what? Probably top 10 producer of right now or whatever the fuck. Maybe not top 10. He probably is top 10, but like a top 5. Nah, I don't hear it.
Interesting thought. But I mean, I like Hit Boy. Like, I don't think he's had, like I said, I don't think he's had like a N-words in Paris, like, recently. But like, I don't think any artist has had like a record like a huge record at all recently. Like who this whole year, who's had
WAP.
like why?
WAP.
WAP.
The WAP
even
dance.
even WAP right now, like it just came out. Like we'll see, we'll see in like, I mean I think it's gonna be around for a while, but like I feel like there's not been a song that's been like a mega like
We're talking about a
smash.
song that came out 9 years ago. We're talking about Hit Boy now
That's what I'm
because he's
saying.
been releasing recent stuff.
Yeah,
He's getting praised for it. And
I mean, it's compared to everything else that's coming out right now. I think it's good.
I don't think it's
like,
bad. Don't get me. That's not what I'm trying to say. I just don't think it's. I could name better producers. I can, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I'm feeling. And the last Hit Boy beat that I really like remember and go back to is the Kendrick Lamar. All my life I want money and power, respect. Like that
Actually,
beat.
that was
freestyle.
crazy.
Yeah, like I remember that type of shit.
I didn't know he did that.
Mm-hmm. There's a
That
lot
was
of
good.
beats from back in the day that Hit Boy was part of that because he did a lot of Beyonce. Okay, let me take that back. Hit Boy is a great producer, but I guess I'll say that the things that he's been releasing the last 2 years, I'm not fond of. I'll say that because he did a lot of Beyonce shit
I
on
think
Beyonce, and those beats were nasty.
now he's like just more like a DJ Khaled like name out there. Like I worked on this. I got this big artist here. This is me. I did it. And then since the album is doing good, he's just getting praised in that way. But like hey, you said, he's not compared to like a Kanye like beat like it's like a masterful beat. Like you remember that everything he did you could mention, but like with a Hit Boy beat, like it's just like a standard good song, whatever.
That's how I feel, but people are praising him to the most high because Nas finally has an album that doesn't have terrible beats, but he's like reaping the benefits of the beats not being terrible. Like, oh, like Nas is always getting killed for picking bad beats. He didn't pick great beats. He just didn't pick bad beats now. So I feel like he's getting the effects of like, damn, Nas sounds good on your beat, and like, yeah, I don't know.
And like it doesn't sound good with Kanye's. Does it mean?
No, because I have yet to hear the claim. Chris, were you the one who said it? That he was
I don't think
talking,
so.
or Manny might have. I don't think it was Manny.
I think I said it like cause he did work on Big Sean and Nas' album and they're doing good. I'm like, is he taking shots like at Kanye for doing that? Something like that.
You were bringing it up as
Yeah,
as in your own.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so he didn't say something.
No, he personally didn't say it, but people, I think I've heard like people compare, especially because the Nas album, his version and Kanye's version, so they're comparing that wise.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that because Nas and Hit Boy sat there for months and worked on something together, so of course it's gonna sound like a way more. Here we go again, cohesive album. So yeah, I'll give him that for sure. Yeah. But just want to hear your take on it.
I just feel like every producer, like every writer, like every artist, they have their like golden moments, golden years, their golden run, whatever you want to call it. And like you can't be hot, or you can be hot forever, but it's like very hard to do that. Yeah. As a producer, I don't even know off the top of my head. Like, I'm sure there are, but I don't know any producers right now, like in this moment that have been hot like forever. Like, do you know any?
We do, but they're not going to be more known to, like you and I will know because behind the scenes we know who's really getting down. Because like you could say Danger, you could say Anderson .Paak, you could say Justice League, you could say. Foreign Tag is killing it right now. Smash David, Hitmaker. Like there's a couple of people out there, like if we really like think about it. But I think you're talking more for like when we were noticing like the Metro Boomins at the time, or like the Tank Keith and like DJ the Mustard. Murder on the Beat, or even DJ Mustard,
Yeah, so I feel like everyone has like their
moment of shine,
their waves. They have their runs, and like you go up, you go down, and some people they catch their second wind. Some people don't. So like,
right.
so like Hit Boy, I wouldn't count him out right now. I'd just say that he had that run when he was doing like all those other songs, and now I mean he didn't, and then now, or he never even went. I wouldn't even say he went down, but he just wasn't there, and
Right.
now he's like getting on all these projects or executive producing all these projects. So this could be the start of a second wind. Like who knows? Like
Oh, for sure.
you never know if like something else drops, and then Hit Boy like I don't know, like Kendrick's coming out, about to drop soon. Like who knows if Hit Boy did like something harder than Backseat Freestyle,
Right. Yeah.
So,
Did y'all see like some of? I don't know what it is, but like some Kendrick shit got leaked. It looks like from like some years. I don't know what it is, but like it's all over YouTube, and like every day they're like releasing a new track from that. Y'all see that?
oh no.
So, something is 100% up because I got a notification earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, at 5:08. Kendrick Lamar, are you a fan? From Spotify. Click the follow button so you don't miss new music releases. Randomly from Spotify.
Damn.
So wait, so somebody's leaking shit?
I don't know.
I think he's about to drop out because I saw
Probably
he was
himself.
shooting. He's been shooting some videos recently. I saw some pictures.
Yeah,
we talked about it.
that.
Yeah, so
So like, is this like his way of like, like self promotion, like secretly, like, oh, I'm coming.
Well,
I mean, it's been a while. It's been a couple of years.
No, yeah, but he's talking about like the rollout.
Mm-hmm.
Artists, there is artists that do that. Like they'll leak shit and it's really coming from their camp.
Yeah.
Hashtag Drake. But I don't think Kendrick is that type of artist. Maybe he is, but I don't think he's purposely leak something. Because I feel like he could just drop and have the same impact he'll have, regardless. But since we got Kurtiz here, let's stick it. Let's stick to music, and obviously the people that don't know you, Kurtiz, tell them about a little bit about yourself, what you do in the music industry, who you've worked with, and then after that we'll kind of get into like the process of like what we do behind the scenes.
If you don't know, I'm a songwriter, multi-genre songwriter. I mean, I've been in the studio, written songs for like everyone, like some songs like got cut, some songs didn't, some songs how it goes. But I mean, I've written songs for the purpose of giving them to like a ton of people and stuff. So it's kind of what I do, and I also artist as well.
So Kurtiz and I, we both are songwriters and artists at the same time. But behind the scenes, we obviously have worked on a lot of records together. For producers, for artists, probably for one of your favorite artists, whoever is watching this. We've done it in the English market and we've done it in the Spanish market. A lot of people want to know, first of all, songwriting recently, I would say during the last year to maybe two, I feel like we've been finally getting recognition. Like we're not considered ghostwriters anymore. Like now we're being credited on like a credit list, and it's not like frowned upon as much. So, I feel like songwriters are thriving at the moment, and it could potentially continue to get better, which is great. But like, what is the process of like when you write for other people? So, who hits you up for the most part? How do you get the beats? How do you tap into like certain records depending on who they're for? Let's kind of take people behind like that process a little bit.
Okay, so writing for other people. I guess the question is first, do I know, like, am I writing just to write, or am I like, oh, Kurtiz, we need a song for...
Who are the type of people that hit you up first to get something done?
It can be A&R that the artist is signed to. I mean, A&R for a label that the artist is signed to. Right. Their manager, producers that are working with the artist who need an idea for them, or who they've been hit up by the label, etc., or the artists themselves. I would definitely say social media was like a big factor in like where I am now, because I was hitting everyone up, then I would go to LA and finally like meet them in person. And then, we were already kind of working online. So working in person, like things just went well. And then you meet, they call, well, let me introduce you to this person, or yo, let me bring you to this studio, or yo, this A&R, like you need to meet them because like artist XYZ, like can take some of your songs. And so yeah, for sure.
When you're sending out your music to other people that you might not know, or like, you're for the first time or whatever, like the risk that's involved, like how do you feel about that? How speak on that, like, because people be like, what if they steal your stuff or whatever?
Honestly, it's kind of a risk you got to take in a sense, but you can always copyright your stuff too before you send anything out anyways. And the thing about now, especially if you're probably recording by yourself or on a computer, but everything's like time and date stamped regardless. There were times like, a couple of years ago when I would hit certain people up and I'd get their email and like I sent a song at the time that I thought was good, or I sent a couple of songs that I thought were good. Looking back now, they weren't really that good, but at the time I thought, but probably to their ears, they weren't that good. And they were like, never answered me. But then it's funny because like you run into the same people like now, and like, oh yeah, you sent me stuff a long time ago. It's like, yeah, I did, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, so quality is definitely important factor. So make sure, like, especially if you're a songwriter, focus on being able to write like a good song first before you start trying to write songs fast. Because you could I have a catalog of, who knows, let's say random, like I got 25 songs to send you right now, and like, yo, if all 25 of those songs aren't like amazing, then that's the same thing as sending 0 songs.
Yeah, because me and Curtis have been in rooms where the producer or A&R or artist gives you a record 10 to 15 seconds. And if that shit didn't impress them in 10 to 15 seconds, next. You're like, like the verse hasn't even started yet. Like, so we've been in those rooms. I will say though, Curtis, when I send stuff out, I send my really good stuff, but I don't send my best stuff, because I send what's good that I could be judged on, structure, creativeness, lyricism, but I try to keep the best like shit that I got timeless music, or like that I feel is great, so that whenever if I do get the opportunity to see you in person, like I can show you something better than what I even sent you initially. But it definitely has to be good enough for them to, want to sit there and listen to it, or even meet up with you. So I do agree with you in that sense.
So regarding getting beats, I have like a team of producers that I work with like a lot. Shout out Johan, Aramy, Red Jacket. Shout out Mills, Onassis. Oh, is that you? Just started recently working also with this other. Shout out Shane, Jose out in LA. Cause I have like a drama state out in France. Yeah, like shout out Blow Your Mind. So these are all producers that like I've just collectively met over the years, whether it was in person, whether it was in social media, whether it was like word of mouth or mutual friends or label, whatever. But these are people that and then these are not these producers I named are not the only producers I work with, but these are like my, I guess circle, you could say, if I say I have a circle. But usually a lot of my beats come from like those guys, and all those guys, they're really talented people, and they're able to produce in multiple genres.
If you work, like, let's say, because I've seen like a recent artist, can we say like the recent artist you worked with? Like an artist you worked with, or you like keep that secretly?
Right now I don't want to like jinx anything. So
we'll talk about who the records that have come out,
like that you've worked with already, like that the records have already came out.
So let's say like the most recent one's like the Quarantine was like the Malu, like Walk in the Club. Yeah, like that record, for instance, like we wrote that, and that was essentially like a conversation that me and Molly just happened to be walking in the building at the same time.
Mm.
And I asked her how her weekend went, and she was in LA at a party, and she said like it was cool, but people weren't dancing. There was some party that like Cardi B threw or something like that, and I was like, oh well. In my head, I was like, all right, let's write a song about that. And then literally like the beat came up, and I was like, all right, so tell me about the party. And tell them about the party, and we just put it in song form, you know.
What's her last name? Was it Malu what?
Trevejo.
Yeah. So that people know the
yeah.
girl who was beefing with a bad baby or whatever.
Yeah, I think they're friends now.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so it's like that, or recently I'm doing a lot of some Afro stuff too for a couple artists that I'm not gonna like name on here yet, because you know nothing's like for sure until it's for sure. Right. But like stuff like that, it's like we talk, or they might have a concept in mind that they want, and then I just do my thing on it, get the tracks, and go back and forth that way.
With her, with Malu, that song already came out, did its thing.
Yeah.
How does that work with like? Do you have to like sign a thing for like you get paid with like royalties of streams and stuff?
You get percentage like writer's royalty and stuff like that.
Is that like forever? Or is it like
really? No, these royalties are forever. It's like just like cyclic income, I guess you could say.
Okay. So like every time it's like streamed, on the plays and stuff.
Yeah. So that's why people who have like really major hits from like back in the 70s or 60s, still getting paid.
Curtis, when you're like shopping out a song, does it have to be when you were? I don't know if you're still doing that, but when you were, do you only show it to one person at once, or do you show it to like a handful of people, and whoever bites or whoever takes it, or do you usually have someone in mind who's more exclusive?
I usually
explain to people what shopping a record is first, and then go into it.
Well, pitching a record is like when you're same, like literally sounds like you're sending a record to someone, or you're playing a record for somebody. You're trying to, whether it's like I said, a manager, the artist themselves, A&R, label, and you're trying to have them use the record for their single, for their album, or whatever. And usually when I send out records, I send them out like, I don't send them out to a million people at once. I might send them out to usually just like one person at a time, maybe two. If I'm going to send it to multiple people, then I'll send it to one person first, and I'll wait a little bit.
Yeah, because what if both use it?
Exactly. You don't want to get in that situation. So I wait a little bit, and if I hear something, then I do. If not, then I'm like, all right. I sent to the next person. And then like if the other person decides to answer later on, after like the second person already wanted it, then I could be like, I'm sorry, I sent you that a long time ago. So, it's on you to check my emails.
It's crazy because one crazy aspect of that is like Boy One has sent Russ like a pack of beats, and Russ didn't do nothing with it for, I don't remember the time frame, but I know it was months to maybe a year. And Boy One did hit him up like months later and was like, yo, are you doing anything with this beat? Because I got somebody who potentially wants it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was like, yeah, I already did something to it, haven't done nothing to it. And then it ended up being Best on Earth. And it was a huge record. So like, that's another thing with music. Timing is like, it doesn't exist. Like people will be sitting on beats, people will be sitting on songs, and they will get passed around forever. And you never know who's gonna pick them up. You never know who's gonna get on the record.
I like that song. Like last time I was in LA, actually, I think the night before I left, I was actually in the studio with the artist featured on it, Bia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was in the studio with her because I know her team, like Bruno and like Lil Rich and Aziz and all those guys. She's really talented, like producers, and like Bruno, I think, I'm not sure if he manages her, but I met with them like my last night.
Isn't Pharrell still part of her team? She was at one point.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, but see, that's a whole nother thing of like social media stuff too. That was like me and Bruno talking on like IG, or I think he was working with Blow Your Mind at the time, and then he heard my stuff, and then me and him spoke, and then like met at the studio, and like Bia was there, and
I was gonna say since you were talking about like the beats getting passed around and stuff like that. I forgot where I heard this, but I remember hearing that the Drake, Kanye, Lil Wayne, and Eminem song "Forever." That was actually supposed to be, I forget who it was, but like some major artist, and like they passed it up, and like obviously it became what it is, and like one of the greatest songs out there.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Yeah. A lot of artists pass up on songs or beats too, even, or two artists might have a beat, like producers, they might send just a pack out to like a bunch of people. And then somebody records on it, or two people record on it, but one person releases it first.
It's interesting to hear those stories, because you remember that famous clip of like Jay-Z and Timberland in the studio, and Timberland's just playing Jay-Z beats, and that's where they got dirt off his shoulders. One of the beats that Timberland plays was actually a beat that Ludacris took, Potion, and like you hear it there, so it's obviously nobody's at the moment, and then like it becomes another record years later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And as a writer, like when producers send you beats, like there's a chance that sometimes they might be sending it to other writers at the same time.
Oh, they probably are, for sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And that's how people work too. Like in writing camps, like they'll put 4 people in one room, 3 people in another room, 2 people in another room, and sometimes they give them all the same beat. And supposedly that's how like Party Next Door was working on a lot of the Rihanna shit. Like everybody gets the same beat, and whoever has the better song comes out. Yeah,
or they take the best parts of like everyone's song and just mash it into one song.
That's so interesting, though. Even
like the Dreamville video. You remember that little video that came out where they flew in like the best producers, like the top writers in Dreamville, and they're like, it was a free for all pretty much.
You see, labels do that all the time, but with those people were more known. Yeah, those with writers, like they'll either give everybody the same beat in different rooms, and then the best one makes it, or they'll just give everybody hella different beats, and then they'll just pick the best ones out of the day. Yeah, and sometimes you have it at the scale of, just come to the studio, have a writing camp, or you have it in the scale of St. John or John Belly, and going to a Paris castle, a castle in Paris where like they do songwriting camps, and you're there for like a month and shit, like just writing hits every day. Like it's fucking nuts. How is your writer's block? Do you get it? Do you not get it? And 2, how do you continue to find new ways to build, to release or make music, because you put out so much of it, or like work on so much of it? Not put out, because putting out would I guess mean like putting it out, but I guess like creating them and sending them out and shit like that. Like, how do you not get writer's block, or what's your technique, and how do you not run out of shit to say or subject wise?
I don't know. I've been able to like overcome that. I used to get writer's block and stuff, but now I find inspiration in whatever I can, or even like if I can't come up with words, I can for sure come up with melodies all the time. Like I'll always be able to come up with melodies, and
the words eventually come to you.
And my melodies, like I hear words in my melodies. So I hear words in my melodies, and then if I hear a sentence or something, I can build around that. And then the way I write now is that like I try to keep the lyrics, like with certain songs depends, but most of my songs, it's like I try to keep it like very conversational. So it's almost just like if I'm, almost like you're talking to somebody, but obviously it has to rhyme. And then I think the fact too that I don't write either is played a major role in me like not having writer's block, because now it's more about feeling.
All right, I got a question for you. We'll save the best for last. If you can answer this. This is a little weird of a question. You got to choose one venue that's going to be sold out, no matter which one it is. You could choose anywhere in the world, anywhere from here is the AAA, you go to Madison Square, you go all the way to the Sydney Opera House. One venue in the whole world that you would sell out. Which would you choose?
AAA. It's my
Keeping it
home.
to the roots. I see.
Yeah, that's my home. So like, it's my home.
You would
It's,
choose American Airlines Arena over Madison Square Garden.
He just said it.
I mean-
This is home.
yeah, I mean Madison Square Garden is like obviously another milestone, but if I had to choose like one, like I feel like obviously selling out your hometown is always going to be more special to you than selling out anywhere else.
I respect it.
Like any
I
artist, like
respect it.
any artist that's coming out now, like they probably usually start off doing little shows in like the basement with like 20 people, and then eventually they're in that arena in their hometown because there's a journey attached to it. You go to sell out Madison Square Garden, it's because you had to probably sell out your own stadium first to even get there. Well, everyone, this was the Planet of Doubt podcast. Thank you for tuning into my show.
Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the Planet of Doubt, episode 17. I would advise for you to please subscribe, like the video right now. If you made it all the way through, we highly appreciate it. We want to thank Kurtiz the Kid for joining us on today's episode. I hope that you guys learned a lot. I hope that you guys learned about the music industry, the journey of a writer. And this is a conversation that could go on forever, and a conversation that could go on forever in the entertainment industry. But thank you for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed your time here. And don't forget, tell a friend, tell a friend. Peace.
Peace out.
That boy's like, what's going on?
Yeah, I was just like, hey.
Curtis's video, so it lines up with it.